In this video, I'm going to share with you guys some steps to literally 10x your approval odds when it comes to getting approved for credit cards. So if you need to get approved for a credit card, or if maybe you've just been eyeing a card and you don't know if you're going to get approved or not and you'd like to, watch this video, take these steps, and I can virtually guarantee that you'll get approved to any card that you apply for. So with that, let's jump into it. The first step is to get your utilization as low as possible before applying, right? And a big key to that is making sure that it's actually posted to your account. A lot of people think as soon as you pay off a balance that it's just posted immediately to your FICO score, but that is just not the case, right? Well, you may have a 0% credit utilization on that card because that's what your bank is posted. That's not what your credit score is going to have on it, and it's not going to be represented until it updates, which happens, once or twice a month. And you can use free apps like Credit Karma or Credit Sesame that will update you every time your credit score is actually updated to make sure that you're staying up to date. And when you do apply for cards, the appropriate utilization is accounted for. So let's say, for example, let's say you're carrying a 20% balance and you pay it all off on the 20th, but your credit score doesn't update till the 1st of each month. If you apply to a credit card on the 24th, that bank is going to think that you're somebody who carries a 20% utilization, as opposed to if you waited a few more days, then you would have a 0% utilization, and that is going to be night and day when it comes to getting approved. So a big takeaway here is always make sure that you wait for payments to post to your actual credit score before applying, not to post to your bank account, to your credit card statement. The next step is to check how long it's been since your last application, right? If you've applied to, let's say 3 credit cards in the last few months, odds are you're not going to get approved for another one just because it could be deemed, kind of risky. If you have multiple applications that have happened recently, it's going to raise some red flags to the bank you're applying for that, for some reason, you're right now trying to gain access to a lot of money quickly. And odds are, because it's new levels of credit, you might not be responsible and be able to pay that back in time. So my advice to you is wait at least, 3 to 4 months for a new card, and longer if you have other inquiries, such as applying for maybe a home loan, car loans, things like that. And definitely wait longer if possible. And what you can do again to be aware of this is check Credit Karma and other free credit reporting apps as well. And I know I already touched on this, but just be sure to just be aware of your hard inquiries, and just know that every single day that passes, those hard inquiries, such as in those pulls from applying different lines of credit, are going to have less and less of an effect on your score. So the longer you wait, the more likely it's going to be. My next tip is to make your income as high as it honestly can possibly be. And what I mean by this is, I know a lot of people that play it very safe when applying to credit cards, thinking something will happen if they don't put the most conservative number possible. But with kind of how things are nowadays with the gig economy and so many people working outside of their jobs and having the potential for bonus, what you put down can actually be a lot higher, and that's honestly going to be true as well. So, to give you guys an example, let's say that you work in tech sales in San Francisco and your base is 60,000, but your on-target earnings, your OTE, is going to put you at 85,000, and you drive Uber on the weekends for an extra $500 a month, right? Well, instead of just putting down $60,000, right, what you can put down is going to be $91,000, which is going to be $85,000, right, which is your OT earnings, and that extra $6,000 a year from Uber. And that's totally honest, right? That's totally possible. So be honest. And put down, your highest possible income. This is going to increase your approval odds, as well as increase the likelihood that you'll receive a high limit on that card. And also, one thing you can do is, if you're a freelancer like I am, one thing that is a possibility for you is, instead of saying you're self-employed, because that can trigger some alarms when you're applying for cards, you can put just the largest account that you work with as your employer, as long as it's on a regular basis. And just say that you're employed by them, and it's not technically lied. They're basically paying your bills. And there's a big caveat, I do want to say that I'm not a financial professional by any means. I'm just a guy on YouTube that has an excellent credit score and likes talking about credit and other finance-related topics. So, just a quick caveat, this is not legal advice, but just with that, we can move forward. So the next step is to apply to a credit card in your own lane, right? And what I mean by this is if you're applying to a credit card and say this is your first credit card ever, right? Don't apply to a Chase Sapphire Reserve or an Amex Platinum or some luxury card. Know what your score can get you and where you stand in your credit journey so that it's more likely you get approved for the right card for you. So, that means maybe if you're new to credit, maybe opening up a secured card or a beginner's credit card and basically just waiting until it's time to be approved for those luxury cards and not jumping the gun, right? Those luxury cards are people that have established credit scores, so if you're not there yet, don't try to skip some steps. You might be able to get lucky, but I wouldn't recommend it. If you're unsure if you're gonna approve, there are a number of sites that will allow you to see if you're pre-qualified for the card you're looking at. So definitely take the time to check, because again, if you don't get approved, and also just every single time you apply, this hard inquiry is going to temporarily ding your credit score. So it definitely takes, that extra little half step to just see if you're likely to get approved before applying, for a little bit of reassurance and to know when it's time, or maybe you need to wait another month or lower utilization more, et cetera, until you are ready to, get approved. And, I do want to say too, if you're not approved, don't give up, right? Don't give up. Fortunately, you're not approved, don't give up. You can always do something called a reconsideration call to turn that denial around into approval and into an approval. And I'm not going to get into that on this video because I actually have a video on that topic. At the moment, it has over 160,000 views as of filming this video. It's one of the first videos on my channel as well. So if you want to see what my first videos look like and also learn how to turn around basically getting rejected or denied from a credit card to turning into an approval, watch that video and I'll link that in the description. And after you've done all the necessary prep work, you're gonna just have the odds of you getting approved are so much higher than if you're just to randomly hop on a website and just apply to a credit card and not know your situation. So if you guys like this video and you learned something new about credit, definitely hit that like button, because I would love to get some feedback and it helps me know if I should be making more content like this. And lastly, I want to say that I talk about credit a lot on this channel and on my personal website, italarobinson.com. So if you want to learn how to fix your score, get out of fees, cash in on a crazy amount of rewards, definitely hit that subscribe button, pop by my personal website, because I put out a lot of other content that isn't necessarily on YouTube there, and you can learn a lot from there as well. So with that, best of luck, and I look forward to hearing what cards you get approved for, and also share this video with somebody who might need a little help getting approved for their next credit card. See you guys soon. Cheers.